Okay, today I'm going to emphasize on the basic aspect of the neuropsychology, and that area is called the brain chemistry and nutrition. As I've earlier emphasized, that brain chemistry refers to the different chemical components of the brain and how their operations influences brain activities. In the chapter, we shall briefly, that in this particular chapter, we shall briefly discuss on how the brain, you know, chemicals, for instance, some of the brain chemicals will be discussed. We'll discuss about them in different categories. Most probably, we are going to talk about the neurotransmitters. We're also going to talk about the neurotrophins and also emphasize on the aspect of the brain chemicals called the neuromodulators. As I've earlier emphasized, there are such neurotransmitters, their classes will be emphasized very much. We're also going to talk about their functions and the areas of the brain that they act on and their roles on the various psychopathologies shall also considered. We are going to consider their areas of neuropsychologies, that is where they affect the neuropathologies of the brain. And not only that, we are also going to talk about the neuropeptides and the Y neurotrophins and neuromodulators as other chemicals of the brain and other briefly discussions that we have also emphasized before. Because most of the discussions we have emphasized before will also be reiterated here in this particular video. Now, what are neurotrophins? Neurotrophins are said that they are those neurochemicals that promote the activities or the survivals of the neurons. And most of the neurons release neurotransmitters. So they also release neuropeptides. So these are most important for the nourishment of the immature neurons. So for the neurons that are immature to be, exceedingly used or be utilized, they have to be matured. And what convert these immature neurons to a mature neuron is that neurotrophins. So we still talk about the neuropeptides. I told you before that the functions of neuropeptides are basically used to modulate, the neuromodulators. The functions of neuromodulators are basically used to modulate the action of that of the excitatory neurotransmitters and the inhibitory neurotransmitters. So in the modulation aspect of the neurotransmitters, what they do is to coordinate the activities of these two neurotransmitters so that they will not clash. And on that negative, so that when there is excessive release of neurotransmitters that are tagged as neurotransmitters, of most especially that of the excitatory neurotransmitters, these inhibitory neurotransmitters will also be released in order to modulate the activities of the excitatory neurotransmitters. So the neuromodulators are those brain chemicals that modulate the activities of both that of the inhibitory neurotransmitters and the excitatory neurotransmitters. So why that modulation occur is to ensure that there is accurate action of those neurotransmitters. Remember that I told you that the classification of neurotransmitter based on based on the excitatory neurotransmitter